There are people there and in the West asking, why is India giving an air of legitimacy to a regime with such a poor human rights record? Well, Sumit Ganguly is the Director of Research for the India Studies program at Indiana University in the US. He joins us now to help us answer that question. Mr. Ganguly, welcome to the program. Why is India doing this?
I think there are a number of compelling reasons why India is doing this. First, India has watched with increasing dismay as China has consistently managed to penetrate significant portions of Burma. China has a thriving commercial relationship with Burma. It has a robust diplomatic relationship with Burma, and also has a significant strategic investment in Burma. And with the growing Chinese presence and influence in Burma, the Indians felt that they had to also try and extend their reach into the country. Also, as your correspondent very correctly pointed out, India needs Burmese assistance in trying to quell a number of insurgencies along the Indo-Burmese border in the Indian northeast, and furthermore would also like access to Burmese energy resources, and finally to be able to conduct trade with Southeast Asia using land routes. So all of these four factors converged in the Indian decision to start opening up to Burma.
Mr. Ganguly, I need to ask, does this official visit, does all this fanfare mean that India is legitimising the dictatorship in Myanmar, and it's also its human rights record, which the West says is appalling? Is it condoning that behaviour by allowing this visit to take place?
I'm afraid that the imperatives of statecraft have trumped India's concerns about liberal democracy. India certainly has a fairly robust record as a liberal democracy, despite flaws like any other democratic state, but it is indeed compromising some of its most cherished values. But this is where you have competing concerns. On the one hand, you have concerns about your behemoth neighbor, the People's Republic of China, which is increasingly making inroads into Burma. And on the other hand, you have concerns about your self-image and as your ethos as a democratic society. And I'm afraid on this particular occasion, one set of values were trumped by another set of values.
Now, it wasn't so long ago that India was a big supporter of Myanmar's opposition leader Aung San Suu Kyi, who's been under house arrest for many years. Would that have been brought up in talks on this trip?
I would hope that the Indians would at least find occasion to privately raise the issue of Aung San Suu Kyi, because until the early 1990s, India was one of the lone supporters of the Burmese pro-democracy movement, and not just a lone supporter, an outspoken and staunch supporter, and had integral links with the Burmese pro-democracy movement, and saw Aung San Suu Kyi as the exemplar thereof. Policy started to change in the early 1990s, and now we are seeing the apogee of that policy. But despite that, one would hope that the Indians would nevertheless bring up some of these uncomfortable issues with their Burmese guest, not grandstanding, but nevertheless delivering a clear-cut message in private conversations.
Well, Sumit Ganguly, the Director of Research for the India Studies program at Indiana University, I should say. We certainly appreciate your insight on this issue. Thank you so much.